going, guys? We're back. Episode 20. I fucking hate John Torts. Gil, how you feeling?
I'm hanging.
Before you answer anything else, guess what, Gil?
What's that?
We're going to the playoffs.
That we is.
After a year where they said we'd only get 70 points, not only did we get 30 more of that, we made the playoffs. I'm the first team to clinch. We're actually also the first team in a long time to barely make the playoff, be the last team to make the playoffs the year before, and the first team to make the playoffs the year after.
Yep. That's pretty awesome.
No one asked you, Cheryl. Alright, let's get into it. We got stuff to talk about. Got plenty of stuff to talk about. Let me pull that up over here. Alright, let's get into it. Let me see the list. Alright, so let's kick it off with... we'll do the recaps in a minute. Gil! What is this team's fucking problem when it comes to too many men on the ice?
Can't count to 6 or 5 or whatever the hell it is.
Fucking ridiculous. That is how many we lead the league and how many lead the league with fucking what 12? Too many men on the ice.
15, something like that.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. That's gonna kill us in the playoffs. I'm gonna tell you right now. That's one thing that will kill us in the playoffs if we don't fucking be careful with too many men. But I mean, Colorado got away with it, and they won the Stanley Cup that year. So, who knows? Alright, number 2. We gotta stop playing with fire, man. We did that all third period last night. Thank God Philadelphia doesn't know how to hit the net.
Right? Oh my God, that was bad.
I couldn't stop laughing how bad Travis Konechny was last night, dude. He had 3-4 opportunities with a wide open net, and he fucking shanked it.
He was laughing. It was hysterical.
It was so bad. It was so bad.
And then there was the kid across the aisle wanted to look like he was ready to jump on you.
No, I wasn't. You were seeing.
After the
No, you were
goal
seeing.
that shouldn't have been.
No, he wasn't jumping on me.
Oh.
He was only telling me I'm rooting for the wrong Eagles. All right. Number 3. Caps are going back to the playoffs, baby. Playoff hockey is in our blood.
It is.
Don't all fucking...
Wait, are you and I wearing the same shirt?
Yeah.
Okay. Unintentional, by the way. It just happened to be the one I grabbed this morning. It's the OV shirt.
And number 4. Number 4. We are 3/4 of the way through the season. 13 more games left for the Capitals. And the Capitals stand at numero uno, first place in the league. By default, because they have one less game played over Winnipeg.
So we have a game in hand.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, we want Winnipeg to have the trophy.
So, Gil, how do you feel? Has this season been a success?
I'm not ready to call it a success until after the first round of the playoffs is over and they've made the second round. I don't care if this team banks 150 points, which I know is mathematically impossible.
I mean, 13 times 2 is what?
126.
126. That's not even the record. I think the Capitals, not the Capitals, the Bruins have the record, 131 or 135.
Yeah,
Capitals,
a couple years ago.
Capitals still have the record for the most home wins. as the President's Trophy. Uh, yeah, it was 2 years ago, where they lost. They blew a 3-1 lead in the series to the Florida Panthers, who then will go on to embarrass the Toronto Maple Leafs after they chanted, "We want Florida," after beating Tampa Bay. Let me raise you one more forward. This isn't even a success if we get out of the first round. This Metro division is so fucking weak. There is no excuses for us not to get out of the second round. There is no excuses. Carolina is not as deep. New Jersey's not as deep. Fuck, the Islanders can't even score. The only teams that scare me are in the Atlantic. I mean, Ottawa scares me. Montreal scares me. Detroit scares me. Shit, the fucking Bruins scare me if they somehow make the playoffs. They scare me more than the only reason why I'm a little tabit on the Islanders and Rangers is because the Islanders, one, they own us in the playoffs, and two, the last couple of seasons, the last couple of playoffs, for some reason, we just can't fucking beat the Rangers. But the Islanders own us. They're the same thing with the fucking Penguins. The Islanders have owned us since the fucking 80s with Pat LaFontaine and fucking, what was that, double overtime, triple overtime when he scored?
Something like that, yeah.
4 overtimes?
That's right, 4.
So, even then, I still think we beat the Islanders. Now, if we play Montreal, that's gonna be our first test. If we can get past Montreal, who are right now playing balls of fire hot, but can they sustain it come playoff time? That's the biggest question. How is their players gonna look come playoff time? But they always give us trouble too. That's Cole Caulfield loves scoring on us, and he hasn't played in the playoffs yet. You gotta remember, I don't think Montreal had him when they went to the Stanley Cup Final. Did they? No, he came in the following year. So he hasn't played in the playoffs yet. Montreal has not been in the playoffs since that Stanley Cup Final run. But like outside of that, like Tampa Bay doesn't scare me. I think Tampa Bay's a good team. I just don't think they have the depth. I don't think they don't have that same oomph they have in years past. Toronto sure as hell doesn't scare me. Florida is obviously the defending champions, so I think toe-to-toe, Florida is better than us. But we'll find out tomorrow night. But all in all, I think as a regular season goes, this is a huge success because last year we barely made the playoffs. We made the playoffs on the last day of the season. Whereas this year we've clinched a playoff spot and there's still 13 games left. Almost quarter of a month left to play. But as long-term success, this team needs to make it out of the second round because of how weak this division is. If we're not making it, we are the best team in this division, and it's not even close. From goaltending all the way up to head coach. I'm sorry, but Spencer Carberry is better than Rod Brind'Amour. Sorry, I'm going to say it. Sorry to break your heart, Carolina fans. Rod Brind'Amour ain't shit. If he was, you'd be Stanley Cup champions already. All right, let's get to.
I'm inclined to agree.
Let's get into some recaps. All right, move you back over here. And we'll go ahead and do auto capture, yeah. No. Where is it? Stats. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Why isn't this up? What the fuck?
Okay.
Alright, it's not coming up. It's whatever.
Yeah. I'm gonna put myself on mute, guys. I'll be back.
Do 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 do. All right, Gil. Where did we leave off?
I can't remember.
What the fuck? When was the last time? I think we went over the West Coast trip.
All of it.
I think we did that. When did we recorded last Wednesday, right?
If it was last Wednesday, then there's at least one game that got missed.
No, I think it was Thursday. So we missed. Yeah, we missed the San Jose game.
Yep.
All right. So we did. Yeah. Okay. So we got San Jose, Detroit, Philadelphia. Then we have Florida's preview. And then we can go ahead and do number 5. Sound good?
All right.
Alright, let me see if I can get this to freaking work. I don't know why this is not coming up. It's not coming up. I might have to add a new one.
All right, I'm back.
Stats 2.0.
Had to help Bradley with something.
Stats 2.0. Here we go. I'll have to drop it down for you guys so they can see your face. There we go. Alright, so now we're on. Let's share this so you guys can see it. Here we go. Alright. We got San Jose, Detroit, Philadelphia. Alright, so San Jose was a complete game. Felt like the Capitals from start to finish was the better team. Strome gets us started with 7 minutes and 33 seconds in. Number 21. Dylan Strome has 21 goals. Protus is 1 goal away from 30. Holy shit, I didn't realize that. He would score later in the period. Almost 3 minutes left in the period. And then, not even a minute later, almost 2, Tyler Radish makes it 3-0. Then, Macklin Celebrini. No goals in the second period. Macklin Celebrini, one of the favorites to win the Calder this year. Scores with 6 minutes in the third period. But then TVR, first goal of the year. I could have sworn he had more than that. Scores not only 40 seconds later. Makes it 4-1. And then Ovi with a tip. With the tip. What a tip. Ovechkin with his 34th goal of the season. He at this point is 8 goals away. He's 8 goals away. Caps win 5-1. We predicted the score, but the other way.
Yeah, I think we all did. You're right. I predicted it closer, but then after the second period, I was like, the third period, either someone's going to blow out or we're going to...
No, that was the Detroit game.
Was that the Detroit game
Yes.
that said that? I could have sworn it was this.
No, it was Detroit.
While this game was going on.
No. It was the Detroit
yeah.
game. No, it was the Detroit game. Because this game was already 3-0 at that point. It was already blown open.
Was it? Okay, maybe it was. I don't know.
It was the Detroit
It was
game.
that we were playing.
It was the Detroit game because it was...
We're either going to overtime or...
No, it was the Detroit game because it was tied at 1 at the end of 2.
Okay.
Which leads us to our next game. Detroit. Fuck those nerds. Kicked their asses back-to-back games. Scored three unanswered on those fools. Kiss our ass. Fucking Detroit fans. I'm so glad we sent them home crying again. They thought Peter Mrazek was going to make a difference. Fucking clowns. All right.
Yeah.
Kicking us off. No goal for 40 seconds for Dylan Larkin this time, bud. Dylan Strome with his 22nd of the season makes it 1-0. And then, but of course, Dylan Larkin did score in this game. 12 minutes in, he scored. It doesn't say power play, so I don't think it was a power play goal. There was no penalties in this game at all. No penalties. There could have been a lot called.
Bizarre.
There could have been a lot called both ways, but no penalty was called in this game. No goals in the second period. Late or like halfway through the third, Pierre-Luc Dubois finds the back of the net on a beautiful shot. 5 to 6 minutes later, Tom Wilson said, "Yo, I'm gonna raise the bar, baby. Goal number 30, baby. First in his career. Tom Wilson hits 30. He's also, I believe, only 31 years old. So he's got like eight or 9 more years left in his career. Connor McMichael will then tap it in right after that on a beautiful pass by Ovechkin. Ovechkin went to take the shot, and McMichael got the rebound. McMichael has 24 goals, just like he has the amount of same goals in my NHL 25 GM mode run right now. We're only halfway through the season. Ovi already has 34 goals. He's scoring hat tricks every left and right. For even in hockey games, Ovi is defying the odds. Caps win 4-1. We send them Detroit Red Wings crying home. Oh, boo-hoo. Boo-hoo.
I tell you, watching it on TV, I could feel the atmosphere change once the goals started coming. 'Cause y'all were at that game.
That was the other game.
Y'all were at Detroit.
We were at the 7th.
That was.
Oh. We haven't gotten to the one you were
That was
at
2
yet.
weeks ago.
No, this is the one we got to. We got to that freaking last episode.
Did we?
Good.
I don't know. I'm so confused.
We talked.
Look, I've been so confused since this.
Likely excuse. We'll allow it, though.
She's the drugs.
Thank you. Yeah.
She's the
Right.
drugs.
All right, let's
I'm
get
trying
into
to
last
avoid the
night's game.
drugs.
Last night's game, the game that we attended. OV 8-8-8. Celino and Barnes call 8-8-8-8. Ovechkin scores 14 minutes and 25 seconds. And when he scored, even Flyers fans were cheering. That's how crazy it was.
Yeah.
Even Flyers fans were cheering when he scored. Ovi is now 7 goals away with 13 games left. Very doable. Duhaime would score a minute, 50 seconds left. A minute and 50 seconds in the... So that's the end of the first period, 1-0. Duhaime, a minute and 50 seconds into the game with a tip, just a tip, by Anthony Beauvillier and Matt Roy. And then Andrew Mangiapane on a beautiful pass by Anthony Beauvillier. Stop it! Only Italians can do that! Disrespectful. You know, we actually swept Philadelphia. Holy shit.
Barely.
They're bad, baby. They're bad.
Barely. No, we swept them with ease. I mean, we scored fucking 3 goals in all 4 games. In all reality, we should have scored 4 goals in all 4 games. Anyways, Ryan Poling scores in the third period. Nice goal. And then a bullshit goal. He doesn't cover the puck, but he still pushes the puck and the goalie in the net for it to go. It shouldn't have counted. It should have been fucking disallowed. That's textbook goalie interference. He doesn't have to cover the puck, but if he's in the vicinity and you push the puck along with the goalie in the net, it's goalie interference.
Yes, it is. And he didn't only push him in, he was like on top of him, pushing him in. So he couldn't even try to get up if he wanted to.
But Spencer Carberry came out and said that he thought the goal should have counted as well. So there's that. It's over. Caps hold on to win 3-2. They're playing with fire, which brings us back to number 2 on our list. They're playing with fire. They're playing with fire. They're playing with fire. They do this in the third period against Florida tomorrow night. They're not winning.
No. We got severely outplayed in the third period last night.
Thanks for telling us
In my
that,
opinion.
Captain Obvious.
Hey, somebody's got to take on the role.
All right. Up next, we got Florida. A team that's still battling for first place in their division.
They're going to be desperate.
Not really.
You don't think?
I hope they start Vanacek and we put up 7 goals on his ass.
That would be fun.
Ovi scores all 7 goals, of course.
There we go. That's a little optimistic, but you know.
Which, by the way,
He would get another record if he did that.
what?
Well, he ties.
Most goals scored
tie
in
a
a game.
record. Most goals, 1 game. That's the record. 7.
Who's got it?
I said a long time ago.
Mark Messier, right? Or is it Mario Lemieux?
Oh, no. It was set before they even had a red line on the ice.
Shit.
30s and 40s.
Yeah.
Guy by the name of Billy
Oh, okay.
Tinkler.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I know Bonsai had 5 in a game, but that's the most I
A lot of
think on
guys have gotten
Capitals.
5.
Yeah.
So, okay,
I
this
know
is going to
one
be...
guy that got 6, but 7's the record.
Okay.
I think Gretzky had 6 one game. I'm pretty sure he did. I think only like a few have gotten 6, but only one has gotten 7. I think Gretzky came close to beating it, but he ran out of time. But Gretzky played in a time where you score goals like it's nothing. If there's a reason why if Ovi was in Gretzky's time, Ovi's probably have already beaten the record fucking 3 to 4 seasons ago. Let's get into the next segment, which is number 5.
Whoa, cat! Please, let's not knock my phone over.
Number 5. Let me bring it up. Hold on. You guys are going to disappear for a minute.
Claws.
You're going to disappear for a minute. All right. So number 5. Leonard and a potential national title run. Let's get into it. Not the World Juniors. The Frozen Four tournament begins next weekend. The bracket is announced on the 28th. The regionals are this week. Not the regionals. The conference championships are this week. The regionals begin next week. Regionals play begins March 27th, and the finals are 20th, 29th, and 30th. The Frozen Four tournament will be on the April 10th and April 12th. So, Boston College has automatically gotten a bid. Minnesota's automatically got a bid. So we are going to be waiting for both. Oh, Maryland is kicking Grand Canyon's ass. Oh, Duke beat fucking Mount St. Mary's by fucking 50 points.
Well, that was to be expected.
People have Duke winning it all
Mary's
this year.
Okay, but they're not that good.
People have Duke winning it all this year anyways. But like I said, the regionals begin the 29th, the 30th. So the latest we could have Ryan Leonard is next week, or the earliest we could have is him next week. I don't think we're going to see him next week. Boston College is too good to be losing in the fucking first round. The likelihood is they either lose in the semifinals, or they lose in the championship, or they win it all. We would like for him to win it all.
Yeah, for sure.
But there's no guarantee that he's going to do that. I don't know. Like I said, Maine has a shot at winning it all this year. Denver could repeat. My Pioneers could repeat. Western Michigan could go all the way. We're going to have a surprise team in the finals. I have a feeling we're going to have a surprise team sitting in the finals. And Boston University or Boston College is going. And the thing is, Cole Hudson is not signing with the Capitals win or lose, he's not
Yeah.
signing with Washington. He is going back to play his sophomore year in Boston University.
As he should.
There is no
As he
room for
should.
him right now, and he's not going to want to play. He seems like a player that does not want to play in the AHL, and he might not have to if he goes back another year. That's the thing about college players, especially top picks. I know he was in the second round, but he should have went first round for sure. His talent now, I bet you if we did a redraft, he goes in the first round. People are looking at him and thinking, why the fuck did we just let him fall to like what, 43? Was he drafted 43rd overall?
Something like that.
So Gil wants to rant, so let's give him that opportunity before we get into a little bit of the Frozen Four predictions. Gil, you said you had some emotional shit to talk today, so go ahead. Let it out, girl. Let it out.
Well, this is a preview of what's going to happen on my own podcast, but you might have to do a little blurry here, but I want to show something to all of the people who said the Caps would never, ever even have a sniff of the playoffs. See this? Right there. They're right there.
I'm right with you.
Oh,
Right there with you.
Kiss it. Ain't no ring. Kiss it.
I was expecting something worse, but all right. I was expecting to see a right ass cheek.
Don't
See,
tempt him.
you see all those people right here in my right ass cheek.
We can't see you because you're still sharing your screen.
No, you can't. I'm on the corner. I'm in the little corner.
Nope, not on our screen.
Nope.
Not on my screen, anyway.
I'm right here.
Nope, not on my screen.
Nope.
I see the graphic
Yep. That's all I'm seeing.
Oh, you guys are
and
stupid.
Gil and me.
Well, they can still see me. That's all that matters.
Well, that's probably good that we can't see him. Now that I think about it.
All right, let's get into number 6. A little bit of the Frozen Four prediction. Gil, who do you think should be the favorite to go in this, and who do you think is ultimately going to win it?
I would love to see BC win it, but something tells me they're going to fall short again. They say happy wife, happy life, and I know my wife would be absolutely over the moon and the stars if Maine won it.
Maine's a very good team. Maine is...
North Dakota is shitting the bed this year.
North Dakota's, yeah, but they have a shot to win the conference tonight if they beat Western Michigan. Looking at the rankings right now, so I think 16 teams make the playoffs, or maybe it's 10 or 16. I think maybe 12. So Boston College, Michigan State, Maine, Minnesota, Western Michigan, UConn, Boston University, Providence, Ohio State, Denver, and Massachusetts and Quinnipiac are all the 12. So UMass, Massachusetts, UMass, Quinnipiac are all the 12 teams that are potentially going to make it. If Arizona State wins tonight against Denver, I think they make it in over Denver.
I would love to see ASU sneak in.
Arizona State's
a nice little Cinderella story right there.
Considered 12. So why is Quinnipiac here? I don't know. So out of all those, I ultimately do think Boston College is going to go back to the championship, the Frozen Four championship, but I think they're going to lose. But I think they're going to have a better showing. Leonard's going to have a good game. He might score a goal. I don't think they're going to get shut out. I just don't think they're going to win it. I no offense to Leonard, or Boston College, like people thinking I had talked to someone over Twitter the last couple of days saying that it's not a guarantee that he's going to sign with the Capitals. It's pretty much a guarantee he's going to sign with the Capitals. I mean, it's going to take a fucking miracle for him not to sign. All signs point towards him signing. The Capitals believe he's going to sign. the media believes he's going to sign. Even Boston College higher-ups think he's going to sign. So it's going to take a fucking miracle. It's going to take a lot of persuading, and I don't think there's enough to keep him next year, because there's really nothing there for him to do besides winning a national title, and he's not going to want to play another fucking season in Boston College when he can play in the NHL next year potentially, and get way more money in the NHL. So I think he will sign with the Capitals, win or lose, but I do think it won't be until at least April 10th. With that being said, I do ultimately think the Final Four will be Denver, Boston University, Maine. Actually, no, not Boston University. Maine and Western Michigan. I love Michigan State. I just don't think they have the ability to win. I think Maine knocks them out. The Final Four will be Michigan or Maine versus Western Michigan. No, actually, you know what? Maine versus Minnesota. Boston College versus... who the fuck was the other team? Did I have Denver?
Yes. So
Boston College, Denver rematch. Boston College gets their revenge. Boston College versus Maine. Maine wins the whole thing. And a 3-2 win. With that being said, let's get into our next segment. Capitals prospects who will play a huge part in Hershey's title defense. There's only one that comes to mind. Potentially two. Depending if he signs with us or goes back for his senior year. I don't think he's going back for his senior year. I think Chesley will sign with us. Oh, God. He's with fucking Kyle.
Oh, Lord.
Jared will not be joining us tonight. We gotta figure that since he didn't fucking join us. I think Andrew Crystal will have a huge impact on how Hershey does this year in the playoffs. Last year he was a black ace. This year I think he's going to be in the roster. There's a lot of guys on that roster that are not better than Andrew Crystal right now, and Ilya Protas might be a black ace come playoff time. They could put him on that black ace, but I truly believe Andrew Crystal will make his debut for Hershey come playoff time. He might even play during... I don't think... His team's not doing well in the WHL, right? The Spitfire? Oh, not the Spitfires. Who does Andrew Crystal play for?
He got traded.
He doesn't play for the Rockets anymore, does he?
No, he got traded.
No.
I forget he got traded to.
Spokane Chiefs. Spokane Chiefs. Okay. The Chiefs are... Oh my God, they got a fucking lineup of Berkeley Cat and Andrew Crystal. Fucking, they have some good players on here. They are... Doesn't want to tell me what their fucking record is. Spokane Chiefs. What is their record? They're only selling for $16. It's pretty cheap.
No, we're not going to Spokane.
I never said we're going to Spokane. Shut the fuck up. You're not funny. Spokane's actually doing well. They are, where's the standings? WHL standings. So Spokane is third, and they already clinched a playoff spot. So figuratively, he can't join Hershey until after the WHL playoffs, which I don't know when they start. And if they potentially win the whole playoffs, they go to the Memorial Cup Finals, which is not until the end of May. So then he would be completely out of the realm up unless Hershey goes all the way to the finals. when the fucking does the playoffs start? So the playoffs begin on March 28th. So it begins next week. The AHL doesn't start for another month. So right here, see, the winner of the 2025 WHL Championship Series will advance to the 2025 Memorial Cup, scheduled to be contested in Quebec City, Rimouski, Quebec, from Thursday, May 22nd to Sunday, June 1st. So what they're saying is, officially, if they go to the Memorial Cup, he's not playing in the AHL until next year.
Mm-mm.
I don't think they're going all the way. But the playoffs start next week. They could potentially be knocked out, and he could end up potentially joining the roster next week. Because he is eligible, I believe. He is now officially eligible for the AHL, if I'm correct. I think he's 20 now. I think he just turned 20.
I believe so because I just read an article
He turns 20 in April.
yesterday.
He turns 20 in next week. He turns 20 next week. He will be 20. He'll be eligible to play. So by the time the playoffs are out, he can figuratively join the AHL. Because the AHL, you have to be... What the fuck is this? MSN.com. Andrew Crystal is the Washington Capitals boomer bust playmaker. The fuck he is, dude. Shut the...
That's the article I was talking about. I saw the other day. I'm like, what?
Washington Capitals Andrew Crystal is one of the most intriguing, high-risk, high-reward prospects in recent years. Drafted with the 40th. And, first of all, they need to fucking... they need to proofread their fucking shit. They put O instead of the 0. Overall pick in the 2023, blah, blah, blah.
It's not very well written.
Risk.
It's MSN. What'd you expect?
I have a second-round pick on him. That's not high risk.
He should have been a first-round pick. So, he is the third CHL player to reach 400 career points in the 21st century. That's insane. But, yeah, he will be a big factor for Hershey this year. Another player is obviously Ryan Chesley, but he won't join until potentially the Frozen Four is over. Because Minnesota might go. He could go very well. But I told you this. I told you this from day one. I've been saying this for a long time. I don't think Chesley signs until Ryan Leonard signs. So if Minnesota gets knocked out, Chesley's going to wait until Leonard signs pen and paper because they are close. There's a reason why they did the friendship test back in July. There's a reason why they always comment on each other's fucking Instagram posts. They will sign together, and that will more likely be. But the only difference is Leonard's going to the NHL, where Chesley's probably going to play at least a couple years in Hershey. Because defensemen need a little bit more time out of college, unless they're like Cal McCarr, Cole Hudson, like they're that offensive guy that's ready to go. Which is why I still 100% think Cole Hudson should go back next year. Because if he goes back next year, he will be able to skip AHL. He can go right into the lineup come playoff time. But Chesley needs some more. He needs some time to get his craft going in the AHL. I think I give him about a year or two tops, and then he'll be in the NHL. He'll be in the NHL by the age 23. He'll be a 23-year-old defenseman. Do you think there's anyone else, Gil? Do you think
Right now?
Yeah.
No, not really.
Our friend Jim. Oh, go.
I was just going to say, everybody else is at least another year away.
Parasek can't come. He's underage. He's not 20 yet, so he won't go. Protus, again, he might be a black ace, but he will not play. That's what I said. The reason why Christo will play is because one, he'll be above age come playoff time. Because the AHL playoffs, they don't start until the middle. They start the same time as the NHL playoffs, but they're a little longer because they have an extra round. So the AHL playoffs, they begin. So the AHL playoffs begin So Hershey's getting a first round bye again. Uh, so I think they don't start until after next week. I think they start beginning. So again, right around the time they play the playoffs. Uh, Let me double check. No, you know what? No, they play around this. They start the same time that the NHL starts, right? I could have sworn they do.
I have no idea.
Or they start a little
The
later.
schedule's not out.
Can't remember.
Because I'm looking it up right now.
Seemed to me. Well, shouldn't it be on the schedule? Like, if you look at the Bears schedule, shouldn't it be on there?
Okay, it is after the NHL season ends. April 21st. So, yeah, he'll be ready by then. Unless, like I said, unless Spokane goes all the way to the Memorial Cup final, which I don't think they will. But they're like, there's really no one else. I mean, there's the only two guys I could see coming in and making an impact is Chesley and Crystal, because everyone else is Hudson's obviously going to go back another year. Leonard's probably going to be up. Unless the Capitals get eliminated or they feel like he could do some damage in the AHL, I just don't think he's going to play NHL playoff hockey unless Nelson absolutely begs for him. Spencer will keep him on the roster. He won't play unless a serious injury happens in the playoffs. But Jim Rogers did brought up a good question. He's like, well, who would, like, right now we have a full roster, but we can make some moves. I mean, Alexiev could be sent down. I think that's ultimately what's going to happen is Alexiev gets sent down because he's not playing. I mean, and we already have another defenseman that we can plug in if an injury happens.
They're talking about resting some of, I don't know who yet. Probably Carlson. I would definitely rest down the stretch.
The thing is, we have 23 men on the roster, so we have to, if we bring over Leonard, which the looks that they're going to try to bring him over, that's why they made left enough space to sign him. They're going to have to move someone, and I'm just saying Alexiev is probably the odd man out because he's still, I think this is his last year from a waiver exempt, so he can go down without being claimed. I think that's probably the odd man out because then they can just plug. They have McElrath. Like I was saying, they have McElrath also sitting in the press box where he can play big minutes. McElrath can come in and play big minutes, and I think he also plays on the right side. McElrath plays both sides, so he can go in and play where they can move Roy up, give Carlson some time off, and put McElrath on that bottom six. So that's what I was telling Jim Rogers. I said I think Alexiev will probably be the odd man out when they bring. Come towards the end of the season because they're gonna give Leonard those three potential games unless they get eliminated earlier and then he signs early, which I don't see Boston College getting knocked out early. They're gonna go to the finals. I think they're going to the Frozen Four, 100%. But like I said, Crystal and Chesley are the only two I see at this moment that could be really huge factors unless we talk about some players in South Carolina, but it's fitting that all three teams clinched a playoff spot, one after the other. First it was the Bears, then it was the Stingrays, and now it's the Capitals. So let's get into our next topic. Topic number 8. We already recapped. All right, let's round up to number 9, the final topic. Before we fucking shillito and do some other shit. Here we go. Round 2 of the playoff prediction. If the playoffs started today... I'm going to go on Google. This is pissing me off. If the playoffs started today... Actually, you know what? We'll do it on here. If the playoffs started today so they can see it, we would have... So the NHL playoff bracket. So here we go. So if the NHL playoffs started today, we would have... Oh, they don't want to fucking show it. They're just showing the fucking standings. I fucking hate this shit. Alright. Here we go. MGM. No, MG. Okay, so if the playoffs started today, we'd have the Panthers. Again, this is fucking wrong. It should be the Capitals and the Canadians, and the Senators and the Capitals. All right. Cheryl, start us off. We're gonna start with the Western Conference. We got the Jets
Okay.
and the Blues.
Winnipeg playing St. Louis. Winnipeg in 5. I think the Blues will sneak a couple wins in there.
That's 1 win.
Or they'll sneak a win in then, sorry. Yes, Winnipeg in 5.
All right, Gil. Your turn.
Xerox. Same.
I'm gonna start this off with a bang. Blues get swept. Jets in 4. Jets move on. They move on to the second round. First time since getting swept by the Montreal Canadiens. All right. Vegas, Minnesota rematch of 2021. Gil, start us off.
Vegas Golden Knights in 5.
Cheryl,
I think Vegas in 6.
Minnesota in 7. No, Vegas in 7. Vegas will win this game, their series. So that's Vegas and Winnipeg moving on. So we got Edmonton and LA. We already know we already know this. Oh, someone ordered Domino's. Edmonton. I will predict first. Edmonton in 5. Gil?
Edmonton in 3.5.
Not even going to give the Kings a win, huh?
No.
Even though they're probably the best defensive team in the league. Cheryl.
I'm with you, Edmonton in 5.
Okay, we got Edmonton Vegas rematch, a third rematch in the last. What was it? Second rematch in the last 3 years. Stars Avalanche. I still think Colorado beats Dallas if Dallas can't get healthy. They don't have Miro coming in this series. They're not going to beat Colorado. Colorado proved it when they played him the other night. Colorado was the better team up and down. They dominated from start. I mean, yeah, Dallas came back and tied it, but Colorado was the better team from start to finish. I have the Avs winning this series in 6. Gil?
Who's next?
I wouldn't be surprised if it goes 7, but gotta give Colorado the edge here.
I think the Avs, like right now, if they play each other, I think the Avs beat them. It's just Dallas is hurt. If Dallas can get healthy and get Miro back, and they can get who else they lost another player. Their blue line's not healthy right now for sure. Cheryl?
Yeah, Colorado ekes it out in 6 or 7.
All right, so our second round is Winnipeg, Colorado, rematch of last year's quarterfinals. Vegas, Edmonton, rematch of 2023. All right, let's get up to the Eastern Conference. Let's start off with Washington and Montreal. I'm going to say it. If the Capitals win the President's Trophy, Caps in 5. But if they don't win the President's Trophy, Caps in 4. Gil?
Caps in 6.
All right. Cheryl?
Same. Caps in 6.
So we got Washington moving on. So we got Florida versus Ottawa, the Battle of the Kachucks. Gil?
Ooh. Well, see, is Matt Tkachuk going to be back in time for that?
Oh, he will. You know he will. He will.
He'll find a way. And you're going to have the Rat in there as well. Oh man.
Could you imagine that second line of Marchand, Tkachuk, Bennett? People are gonna hate playing that line.
I mean, my remote, if they're on at the same time, my remote's going to get a workout if those two series are on at the same time.
What, the Capitals?
Right.
The Capitals,
Caps and
Caps and Habs, and
series.
Florida and good Senators. All right, who do you got?
Damn. I can't see Florida losing, but I think this will be one of those series where it's over quick, but
Overtimes.
it's all overtimes, it's all one goal games. Florida in 5.
They're gonna. I think it was you that said this last time. The NHL are gonna push this 7 games. Uh,
They're gonna try, but
Florida in 7. I know I said Senators last time. I just think Florida right now. Florida's starting to turn it around. They're starting to look like Florida again. Uh, I think Florida in 7. I think Ottawa will put up a good fight. Ottawa has a very bright future going
oh, they
forward.
will. They will. They still don't know how to score.
No, they have a right future. The
What
question,
if they have a legit 30 to 40 goal scorer,
well, that's what they're hoping.
then they'd be dangerous.
That's what they're hoping to get out of Dylan Cousins, which he has potential to be. Cousins has potential to be a 30 to 4 goal scorer. It doesn't. But the fact that he was in Buffalo for his first part of his career is why he hasn't been able to break out. I mean, a lot of players go to Buffalo, leave Buffalo, and have amazing careers. So I think Dylan Cousins next year has potential to break out for them, but this year I think that their year falls flat. But it's not a falling flat like where we got knocked out of the first round. No, this is a team that has not made the playoffs since going to the Eastern Conference Finals in 2017 and losing to Pittsburgh in Game 7 in overtime. I think it was double overtime too. Uh, so no, it was single overtime because Ottawa scored in the double overtime the game before. Uh, so Florida moves on. Now we have Toronto and Tampa Bay. Cheryl. Oh no, Cheryl, you didn't predict. Hold on, Cheryl. Panthers, Senators.
I'm with you guys. Florida in either 6 or 7.
Bitch. Get out of here, Sebastian. Get out of here. Go.
Sebastian, come here. You can come bother me.
All right. Toronto, Tampa Bay. Cheryl.
Ooh, I'm gonna say Tampa in 5. I just don't think Toronto has it in them this year, but they might surprise me.
Gil. Are you gonna tell her or I gotta tell her?
You can tell me, it's fine. I can take it.
Ah, I
Do you want
this
to?
is the one. This is the one I can't figure out.
Are you gonna go or do you want me to go?
You go ahead and go.
This is Toronto. They're losing. They're either winning it in 6 or losing it in 7. That's how Toronto does it. They either win it in 6 or lose it in 7. I have Toronto winning. I think Toronto has had Tampa Bay's number. They almost beat them to the first matchup. They beat him the second matchup. I have a feeling Toronto will knock off Tampa Bay because people are going to think Tampa Bay is going to be sneaky this year, and Tampa Bay is just going to prove that they're fucking washed and it's over. They put all their eggs in one basket and it's going to fucking go rotten and
Bite
fucking
him in the butt.
smack them right in the face with the eggs and get all gushy all over their face. Toronto in 7. I think the Leafs finally win Game 7 and get a rematch with the Florida Panthers in the second round. Gil, I gave you time.
Yeah, Toronto in 7. I think Berube is going to be the difference. He's going to when they start to fall apart, he's going to keep it together for them.
And the thing
No, I
is,
forgot about him.
That's going to
Wall
be the difference.
Wall has been playing amazing. He's been playing amazing in that, and that's the scary thing is they haven't had good goaltending going into the playoffs, and now they do. And a lot of that goes to test for Berube. All right, our final matchup of the first round, we got Carolina versus New Jersey. This is obviously going to be an easy choice. No Jack Hughes, no Dougie Hamilton, no Jonas Siegenthaler. New Jersey's basically limping into the playoffs. Carolina is going to win this series. Carolina has had New Jersey's number for a long time, dating back to 2002, when they went to the Stanley Cup Final and lost to Detroit. Carolina also beat New Jersey, I think, on the way to win the Stanley Cup in 2006. Carolina's going to win this in 6. I think New Jersey will win a couple games They'll probably win the first two games at home, but then New Jersey or Carolina would go home and win Game 5 and then win Game 6. Uh, Cheryl,
I'd say Carolina in 5. I don't think New Jersey's going to win more than one.
Gil,
Same
with me or her?
with her. 5. It
All
don't
right.
go any further than that.
You don't think Markstrom's going to steal a game?
No.
Nope.
All right. That leaves us with a second round matchup, a rematch of the 2019 first round matchup. The Capitals have been salivating a chance at revenging their loss to the Carolina Hurricanes. It's almost 6 years. It's 6 years in the making. The Capitals are waiting for this. Let's kick it off. Capitals, Hurricanes. Gil, kick us off. Who do you got winning?
This could go. Look, I don't mean to sound like a wuss, but this could go either way. I will say Caps in 7, but it could go either way.
I'm agreeing with you on that. I think it could go either way, but I ultimately do think we're a better team than Carolina. Carolina still does not have that superstar. And around this time, this is where we're going to see where the Capitals are made of. And we could potentially see a breakout playoff performance from one of our three younglings in Protus, McMichael, and he's not really a youngling, but Dubois. This would be the point where these guys really show up, and I think they give us an edge over Carolina because right now,
Dubois been decent in the playoffs before.
yeah, but he really hasn't had a team like he has now. Like in LA, he had Kopitar, and that was basically it. He doesn't have an Ovechkin. He doesn't have a Tom Wilson. He doesn't have a John Carlson, a Jacob Chikrin, a really good coach in Spencer Carberry. He played for fucking Todd McClellan in the playoffs. His last real I don't know, even then I don't even think he played for Winnipeg. The Winnipeg didn't even make the play. They made the playoffs and they lost to Vegas. This is his real first opportunity to play with a really good
Big
team.
hockey.
Dubois will be a deciding factor. If Dubois shows up in the playoffs, the Capitals are winning it all. Because that's how they won it in 2018. Evgeny Kuznetsov, a guy that was severely underperforming come playoff time, found his game when he needed the most, led the league in the playoffs with the most points. Let's see if he does it again here. Let's see if Dubois does it. I have the Capitals ultimately winning because of those factors. And the fact that the Capitals are younger than Carolina. And Carolina doesn't have really good goaltending. I trust Logan Thompson more than I trust anybody, either goalie in net for Carolina. I have the Capitals winning it in 6.
I'm with Gil in 7, I think. But to be fair, I don't think anybody has given this team enough credit for the tenacity that they've shown this year. So
That's the scary thing.
it's like Edmonton last year. Nobody gave them credit for just straight up hard work and tenacity. Nobody gave them enough credit for it. And,
All right. So we all have Florida except for you. Or Florida and Toronto except for you. All right. So Gil, kick us off. Florida Toronto rematch of 2022.
Florida in 5.
Does Toronto chant, "We want Florida" again? Cheryl,
They learned their lesson.
you'll go last, Cheryl. I agree with Gil. Florida, but I think Florida wins a little later than that. I think Toronto is a better team than they were the last time that these two teams would have faced off. Toronto wins a couple games. They lose it in 6.
All right.
So you have Florida and Tampa Bay. The Battle of Florida
Um,
4.
Yeah. No. And I think Florida in 6.
Florida
I
in
think Florida
6.
moves on.
So we all have Florida versus Washington in the conference finals. A rematch. 2022. First round. All right, let's get out to the West. We have all of us have Colorado, Winnipeg, second round. Then we have Vegas, Edmonton rematch. rematches all around. Let's kick off with Vegas and Colorado. Edmonton, Winnipeg and Colorado. Again, sorry Winnipeg. I have the Colorado Avalanche knocking you out of the playoffs again. This Avs team was built to win in the playoffs. There's a reason why they went out and got guys like Brock Nelson, Charlie Coyle, Ryan Lindgren, Jack Drury, and Marty Nashitz. Guys that are gonna put their body on the line and guys that are gonna get in the dirty areas and win. The Avs, in my opinion, have arguably probably one of the best 1, 2, 3, 4 punch at center. In McKinnon, Nelson, Coyle, and Drury. And that's just Winnipeg just doesn't have an answer to that. Winnipeg doesn't have a real answer. Winnipeg wanted Brock Nelson, and Colorado came in and swooped in and stole him from him. I have Colorado winning again in 5. Gil?
Yeah. Yeah, same.
Cheryl?
Third.
All right, so we have a rematch with Edmonton and Vegas. Vegas trying to avenge last year's first round matchup. They finally do. They get it past the first round this year. I'm sorry, but I think Edmonton knocks them out. But we just got news though that Draisaitl and McDavid are going to be out for a while.
Yep.
I still think Edmonton finds a way to beat Vegas. I just don't think Vegas didn't do anything at the trade deadline this year. So they're counting their baskets and thinking it's gonna pull off this year. I don't think it will. The Vegas magic is just worn off. Edmonton is on a mission. Edmonton knocks him out in 7. Gil?
Same. But I think McDavid and Draisaitl are going to start to show some wear and tear around this time.
Yeah, from making it to the finals last year. Cheryl?
Yeah.
All right, so
Edmonton and 7.
we got a Colorado Edmonton rematch of 2022. So 2 rematches of 2022. Let's kick it off in the Western Conference. Colorado Edmonton. I'm sorry, Edmonton. This is where your time ends. I think the Avs find a way, and at this time, I'm gonna make a prediction. This is where Landeskog comes back. This is where potentially Landeskog comes back, and if they get him back for this conference finals, done. He doesn't even have to play well. The Avs are going to be so emotional. They're going to be playing with a ton of emotion. I don't think they sweep Edmonton. I think Edmonton makes this a series. But I think Colorado beats Edmonton in 6. And Colorado goes back to the Stanley Cup final. Your 2025 Western Conference champions, the Colorado Avalanche. Gil?
Colorado in 7. But do not be surprised if there are many controversial calls that go Edmonton's way.
Yeah. I believe that.
Agreed.
Cheryl?
Agreed with Gil. They pull it out in 7, but yeah.
All right, so now we have a potential hair-pulling moment for me if both these teams make it to the Stanley Cup final. We have Washington, Florida, conference finals. This is where I know Gil picked Florida this time around, but I have a feeling this is where Florida's gas runs out. I feel like Florida is going to be the team that runs out with gas because they played a lot of hockey these last 2 playoffs. And I think this is where it shows. I think Washington pounces on them for being like they're banged up, they're tired. Bobrovsky has played a lot of hockey these last two seasons. I ultimately think Washington finds a way to win this in 5. Capitals go back to the Stanley Cup final. The Capitals surprise people, and not necessary. I think I'm going to change my pick in the Stanley Cup final. Last prediction I had the Caps over the Avs, but I'm going to change my pick. The Capitals ultimately make the Stanley Cup final because Florida. This is where Florida runs into the wall. That is the endurance and hardenship of the NHL playoffs. Florida had an amazing 2 years, but I think this is where it ends. I don't think there's a repeat, but I do think Florida becomes the first team since Tampa Bay to make it out of the first round as the Stanley Cup champions. Gil, well, we'll go with Cheryl first. Cheryl?
I agree the Cavs will win the series, but I think it'll take six.
Gil doesn't look amused.
Gil looks very pensive.
This will go the distance. I think it's going to come down to the edge in experience, which Florida will have. They're going to draw from the last 2 years of experience. Where they're going to start to run out of gas is the final. But this will go the distance, but Florida will win out in seven.
Okay. So you got Florida as the 2025 Eastern Conference champions. So you have Florida and Colorado, so you will go last. So we have Washington and Colorado in the Stanley Cup Finals. First time ever, Nathan MacKinnon versus Alex Ovechkin. Someone's going home, a loser. Last time I had the Avs falling short and finally losing in the Stanley Cup Final. This time around, the Avs, especially what they did last night to Ottawa, uh, this Avs team is very, very dangerous against the counter rush. They strike very fast, which is another reason why I think Dallas might struggle if they don't have Miro back. Uh, the Capitals' biggest problem this year is speed, and that's all what Colorado is. And I think right now here, that's the biggest problem. That's the biggest advantage they have over Florida. I don't think Florida's a fast team. Florida is a team that's going to go in and they're going to hit you hard and they're going to grind you for 60 minutes. Whereas the Avs are going to go in and they're going to hit you hard, but they're going to outskate you for 60 minutes. And this is where I think the Capitals run into the problem of not being able to hold Nathan MacKinnon. And like I said, if Gabriel Landeskog's back by this time, which I don't think he will, I think he's done. I think he's gonna retire. But say if he is back, the Capitals are gonna lose in five. The Avs are gonna win this in five. They're gonna win the Stanley Cup. They're gonna be 4-time Stanley Cup champions. I'm gonna say I will have a great time this entire Stanley Cup final. Both teams I use when Landeskog's playing. I love watching the Avs play. I'm not following him as much as I used to because he hasn't played in almost 3 seasons. This will be one hell of. I guarantee this would be one that's not watched, but it'll be a damn missing out of it because these two teams played each other early on in the season. Both games were electric, and that was before the Avs got Mackenzie Blackwood. They still had Forgiev. We call him Forgoliev, because he gives up 4 goals a night. So this will be one hell of a Stanley Cup final. Gil, would you watch this Stanley Cup final if it happened?
Caps Avs?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Do you think it would go the distance?
Uh,
I feel like, like you said, with the inexperience, I think the Caps can get away with Florida because I think Florida is built to go to the conference finals. I just don't know if they're built to win it all again. I have a feeling like Bobrovsky, we don't know how Bobrovsky's going to look this playoffs. He could be really tired. He might end up, like you said, Senators have a shot. I don't think they're going to do it. Tampa and Toronto have a shot. I think, but if they get past those, they're going to be fighting neck and neck. They're going to be fighting all the way between the Senators and Tampa and Toronto. So I think the Capitals match up better against the Florida Panthers than they do the Avs. But I wouldn't be shocked if it goes the distance because both these teams are young. Well, the Avs aren't as young, but they still have most of their guys, most of the core is still in their 20s. Makar's only 26. McKinnon's only 29. They traded Rantanen. Nashis is only 25, if I'm correct. Nashis is 25. He's 25. He turns 26 next year. He's 2 years younger than me. So there's that. But I'm going to ship it off to Cheryl because she has the same prediction for the Stanley Cup Final between us and Colorado. Cheryl, who do you got?
I hear your arguments. I tend to agree with your arguments, but I still think people aren't giving this team enough credit. I think they pull it out in seven.
So we win the Stanley Cup. All
Mm-hmm.
right. I'm gonna ask you all after this because we got to get to Gills
Obi
next.
breaks the record. He wins the cup. He doesn't have to do jack. He could just relax and play hockey and have fun next year. I think we pull it off.
That would be one hell of a way to go out.
I think we pull it off.
Because then he would shut up the doubters saying that that was a fluke in 2018.
Yes, sir.
Uh, the Capitals are one of the scariest teams to look at because no one has given us credit, and everyone thinks we're going to get knocked out in the first round. That's the scariest thought. If the Capitals make it past Carolina, I think they have potential to go all the way. But you have how many games?
Oh, in the final, I
Yeah,
think it's gonna. I think it's gonna go the distance. I think it's gonna go seven. But I really think the Caps are gonna pull it off.
and they went on home ice.
Yep.
That would be fucking insane. That crowd. You thought
Absolutely.
you thought 2018 was nuts. Get ready for summer of Ovi part 2.
I'm telling you, this nobody's giving this team enough credit.
That's the dangerous thing is we're playing with house money and they're
Even the majority of the fans, or a lot of fans, are not giving this team enough
all
credit.
right, let's get into Gil's prediction. Florida, Colorado. I'm assuming because he said Florida's going to run out of gas here, he has the Avs winning the Stanley Cup. Uh, Gil, how many games?
6.
All right. Now, I got to ask you, is Gabriel Landeskog back at that point? Is he in the lineup?
They will find a way to bring him out for the final.
Kind of like what Tampa did with Steven Stamkos?
Yeah, because if you play one final game, even if you miss the whole season, you still get your name on the cup.
So here's a better question. So, who do you have winning the Conn Smythe?
Ooh.
We'll go with Gil because me and Cheryl will go ours next.
Um,
Is it gonna
if
be? Is it gonna be? Well, the better question: will it be like last year where the losing team player gets the Conn Smythe? I don't think.
well, I think no matter what, if our lines of prediction come true, I think Nathan McKinnon probably has to be the number one or number two candidate.
I think he's set. He's gonna have a monster playoff this year. He wants another cup. You can see it in his eyes. Uh, okay, so you have Colorado winning the Stanley Cup, Nathan McKinnon winning the Conn Smythe. He joins Cal McCarr. Cal McCarr gets another trophy and is. I think McCarr is winning the Norris this year. I think it's foregone conclusion he's going to win the Norris. Uh, so Cheryl, you go first. I'll go last.
Conn Smythe is MVP of the playoffs, right?
Yes,
Right.
The whole playoffs.
yes. The only playoffs that has MVP playoffs of the championship game is football and baseball. Baseball has two different MVPs. They have they have the playoffs and they have the World Series MVP. Basketball has an MVP, but that's the finals MVP.
Yeah, I mean, I can see McKinnon as a candidate, but if Protus continues the way he's been doing, I think he is definitely somebody that should be on
You
the radar
you
for it.
have him over Ovechkin.
Well, I mean,
If
usually a
Protus,
given,
if let me
but
jump in, if Protus manages to get double-digit goals this playoff season and they make the final, you have to throw him in the conversation.
Yeah,
absolutely,
but
if
if
he
they
keeps playing the way he's been playing, he needs to be in the conversation.
but
He is fucking.
if they win the cup,
If they win the cup,
it's gonna go to Ovi. Like
well, probably.
it's a
Not
Yeah,
if,
that's
not if, nah,
well.
not if Ovi, not if Ovi. I'm not saying he tanks in the playoffs, but if he only has, well, okay, if his numbers look like this, 5 goals and 10 assists, do you give him the Conn Smythe?
I mean,
I wouldn't.
Sidney Crosby barely played well in 2017 and 2016, and he got the Conn Smythe.
yeah. Well, that's because he's Sidney Crosby, but
It's
that's
That's
not
the
a
same
all.
whole
thing.
different
It's not all
conversation.
name. It's not always name recognition. Besides, Ovi's already
No,
got
but
it. He's already got a Conn Smythe.
I definitely think if Protus continues the way he's playing, he will definitely be
I
in the
I have a
conversation.
feeling Connor McMichael's gonna have a bigger playoffs than him. I really do. I think Connor McMichael is gonna be the reason why if the Capitals win the Stanley Cup, he's gonna be the reason why they do it. Because
I hope you're right, but I have a feeling
Yeah.
no.
McMichael has that burst ability, and it just he looked really good against Detroit.
He
Uh,
looked pretty good last night too.
I like it. I like that he's gotten tougher. I need to see it in the playoffs though. I haven't seen it
well,
yet.
to be fair, he's only played what one playoff, and that was last year.
True.
So like
Yeah.
he hasn't really Laviette never gave him a shot, but when we made the playoffs the two times under him, uh, and
I
the
mean,
other
he's come a
and
long
the
way this year,
and
so
the
he has
and
to.
if you look at the AHL playoffs, which in my opinion are just as hard as the NHL, which the AHL you have to win a little bit more games. Uh, you're also playing a best of five, which is not as it's actually harder to win a best of five than it is a best of seven because if
Hmm.
you go down two games, there's a likely chance that you're not going to come back. Where if you go down 3-1, nowadays teams have been shown the ability that they can do it, at least force a game seven. Uh, he looked amazing in that AHL playoffs 2 years ago, and that's why I knew he had potential to do what he's doing now.
Yeah,
He
and he's
just
been
even
he's really been playing well the last several games.
even
He's
last
starting to
year.
pick it.
e-
He's starting to pick it up a little bit. I mean,
Even
he had a slump for a while, but he's starting to pick it up a little now. So
even last year, he had
that
a
still
really
goes
good
further.
season under Spencer Carberry. Uh,
Hmm.
Carberry's definitely been a big, which is why I should have added this. I think I did. Did I? I think I did. I think I added this. I don't know if I have it though. Let me look it up. I thought I had it as a bullet point as well. Uh,
You did. It was Carberry should be coach of the year. That was in your when you didn't list them all at one, but you had it earlier in the conversation.
Spencer Carberry. I'm sorry, there's no one else. No offense to you, Winnipeg fans. Scott Arnold has had a great season with Winnipeg. It just he's not done what Spencer Carberry has done. He took a Winnipeg team that was already ready to make like the Winnipeg Jets. People still had Winnipeg making the playoffs next year. They didn't have them winning the division and potentially winning the President's Trophy. I'll give you that, but they still had him winning in the division. No, not winning. Still in the top three of the division. They actually a lot of people had Colorado dropping out. Um, what was I gonna look up?
But nobody had the
Oh yeah,
Caps anywhere near where we are.
yeah. No one. Everyone thought we were gonna have 20 to 30 less points, and we managed to get almost twice as much as we have. We had 90 points last year, and we already have 10 more, and we still have 13 more games left. So McMichael last year had 18 goals, 15 assists, and was at 33 points. So and he only missed two games. So he had a very decent season last year. He was 2 goals off of a 20-goal season. So Spencer Carberry has been able to get the best out of him.
What is he this year right now?
24, 28, 52 plus 24. So he has doubled. He has almost doubled his plus minus, which is a stupid fucking stat. But McMichael has potential to
It's
be.
not a stupid stat. It just doesn't tell the whole story.
I just don't like the plus minus. Uh, because you can barely you might be on the if you're on the ice at all you get scratched and you might not even be a part of the fucking play like uh but
You don't
anyways
know that. That's not always the case.
let's get into it. The Conn Smythe. My Conn Smythe is I truly believe it's gonna be Big Val's turn to win that Conn Smythe. Uh, he's gonna have a monster playoffs if the Avs go all the way to the Stanley Cup final. He's gonna have a redemption year. After doing that, whatever the fuck that the drug, the fucking
Keep the
player
teenage prostitute out of his room.
player abuse, player
Yeah.
abuse. He's gonna come back and he's gonna turn around and he's getting hot. Val is getting hot at the right time. He is getting hot, and he's going to have a big factor in the Avs if they win the Cup this year, and I think he's going to win the Conn Smythe. So let's recap. Gil has Avs over Florida in 6. McKinnon wins the Conn Smythe. Cheryl has Capitals over Avs in 7. Protus wins the Conn Smythe. I have the Avs over Washington in 5. And Val Nichushkin wins the Conn Smythe. If these predictions happen, I'm going out and buying a fucking lottery ticket. We all know what's gonna happen. We're getting a fucking Toronto. We're getting probably a Tampa Bay Vegas fucking Stanley Cup final. With Tampa Bay probably winning in 5. I would love a rematch of last year's, but like I said, I think, and Gil's right, inexperience will show up, but I mean, the Capitals didn't really have much experience when they won the cup in 2018. Like that, like half the roster that went to that second round. I think 2 of them won a Stanley Cup. None of them won a Stanley Cup. To be honest,
Obi Kubel.
no,
Talking
Didn't
about
he win in?
He's talking about 2018.
no one on that team won the Stanley Cup.
Oh no, Obi Kubel.
Actually,
Okay, never mind.
The only guy that made it past the second round, I think, was Lars Eller, because he played for Montreal when they went to. No, he wasn't on the roster then.
He won then.
No, so no one on that roster had experience in the third round, and they beat Tampa Bay. So it's all about who's getting hot, and the Capitals. The Capitals are here and there, but
They got a shot if they can get hot at the right time. But I'm worried about 2 things with them. They gotta turn it on at the right time. Just about the whole season they've been able to do that. That kind of thing is not so easy to flip the switch in the playoffs.
no.
No,
It's not.
But-
And the other thing, I don't know if I showed this to you guys, that right now they are 5th in most high danger chances given up.
Oof.
That bothers the hell out of me.
What were they
Yeah,
ranked?
that is a little scary.
What were they ranked in 2018?
No.
That's the big question.
Well, they probably weren't anywhere near as high as 5. And I only remember Holtby having to make maybe 5 or 6 game-saving stops. They're going to lean on Thompson something awful this playoffs.
I
And
mean,
it might bite them in the butt.
I think they freaking leaned on Hopi a lot in that first round though. Without Hopi, that if they give up that goal in that overtime and go down 3-0, they wouldn't have won the Stanley Cup. We would have been swept. We would have been Tampa Bay the year before. So here is the team with the most. So 2017, 2018, Boston had. Where is it? I'm trying to see if you see guys right here. I don't think it shows high danger chances, but we ranked 26th, so we were pretty okay when it comes to goals for and goals.
So they were a team that was built not to give up as many.
No, this is goals for and goals shots. So it doesn't say the. So it doesn't tell us. So this is actually we were ranked almost dead last, so we weren't good. The only thing we were good on is the goals against and goals differential. But that was because Trotz played a defensive style. Right now, New Jersey actually leads the league in that shit. So they give up the most and high danger. Oh no, this is less. They lead the league, so they don't give up much. So we are actually 31 when it comes to that shit. So we're actually worse. That doesn't scare me as much if we had, say, Vanacek and Sammy in that. Because we had
the goaltending has never been stronger, but
Thompson. And the thing about that is Thompson won that's what gives us an advantage. Thompson won a Stanley Cup. He was a big part of that team too. Him and Aiden Hill were a big part of that team winning the Stanley Cup. He looked good last year for Vegas too. So there's a difference. Thompson's going to be a big factor for us in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And he will be our make or break moment. But ultimately, like I said, there's no excuse for the Capitals. They should be getting out of the second round. We should beat. We should figuratively beat Montreal. Oh, look, let's see the most likely upsets. Here we go. 2018 most likely upsets. All right. Oh, it's not letting me. Fucking son of a bitch. I gotta pay for that shit. I want to see if they had us getting fucking upsetted.
Oh yeah, the Washington Post is a pain in the butt. They used to let you have like so many free articles, and now they don't anymore.
Hey, wall.
They had the Nashville Predators potentially losing to Colorado. They had Pittsburgh potentially losing to Philadelphia, which Philadelphia has had Crosby number. They had their number. But all right, here's their bold picks. They had the Kings beating. So they had the Bruins beating the Capitals in the Eastern Conference Finals.
In 2018.
Oh boy, they were so wrong. They were so wrong. He said, as for the Penguins, I could see a drawn-out battle with the Capitals in round two, but ultimately, if Murray is there, I think the Washington Capitals come up short again. Well, I wonder how that helped for you there, Bud Skiver. None of them had the fucking Knights. They had the Preds beating us. They had the Preds over the Lightning. He had us winning a series clinching. Well, he was right. I mean, he was right. Ovechkin had the series clinching goal against Tampa Bay in Game 7. He's the first goal. He was right. I mean, he picked Ovechkin to score a series clinching goal. And Benjamin was right. The Capitals will advance to the finals. He said that Ovechkin will put up at least 11 points against the Penguins and the Capitals will lose. Fucking this Skiver guy fucking hates us. So I don't want to bring up a mirror, but I do want to say the last time my other sports team got thoroughly embarrassed in the championship final, the Capitals won the Stanley Cup. Are the hockey gods going to throw me another fucking bone?
Maybe.
After what the Yankees did in the World Series, are the hockey gods going to throw me another fucking bone? And there's also a mirror. The last time the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl.
We won the cup.
So, and the year before that, what happened? The Atlanta Falcons blew a 28-3 lead. So, and the Yankees, they didn't not. People say, well, the Yankees lost in 5. That's not really embarrassing. The way they lost was embarrassing. They should have won games 1 and 5. And they blew both those games. So it'll be interesting to see. We still got 13 games left in the season. Let's preview the next few games. I don't know if we're going to be going to this game against Buffalo, Gil. I'll let you know. Sunday, when I have next week's schedule. Because she has me off this Sunday. So she might have me off again next Sunday. But she has inventory, so she might schedule me. If I'm off, I'll try to see if I can get tickets. Because that's a game I want to go to. Because I have a feeling that's where Ovi... This game, from the 30th onward, is where we're going to be really looking at Ovi to break the record. Because going forward, he's going to get... And if, like I said, if he's on pace right now, he scores tomorrow. Let's say he gets 2 goals tomorrow. Gets a goal against Winnipeg. Gets a goal against Minnesota. That's 4. He's down to 2. Which means he's got to score. And if he scores, say, he scores 1 goal against Buffalo, and then I don't think he's going to do it against Boston or Carolina. I think ultimately he will do it against Chicago. Chicago or Carolina are the 2 games I'm looking at, circling right now for the potential Carolina at home. Potential. Oh shit, I just realized. I was going to make a joke. Well, technically Leonard could make his debut against Columbus, but they're playing fucking Columbus at 12:30 at the same day as the fucking Frozen 4. So I said technically, because I think the Frozen 4 is early. I said technically he could play the Frozen 4 and then fly right over to Columbus and play. But no, they're playing before the Frozen 4. If he does, he'll probably play at home against Columbus, which that would be fucking amazing. I still want to go to Pittsburgh. I still want to find a way to get to Pittsburgh and see him play. Uh, but if Ovi is fucking if the Ovi's gonna break the record that game, I'm not going because that's gonna be way too fucking expensive. I mean I
Yeah.
want to go there to see him break the record, but we are planning on doing a watch along. We'll probably do a watch along, a couple watch alongs. Gil, if you want to come down,
We'll
uh,
probably go to the channel.
we'll go to the channel like we did last year for the Tampa Bay game, and we'll do like probably like the last 3 games. We'll probably pick the last 3 games if he hasn't breaking it yet, and we'll do the watch along all 3 games, and everyone is invited. We'll invite a whole crew. We'll try to reserve it. See if we can get Jackie to reserve a section for us. Um, it'll be amazing. We're gonna have a great time towards the end of the season. Next year we're probably gonna do the same thing. We might do a. We're also gonna do the NHL draft again this year. Last year we had such a blast. I mean, Gil almost threw something at my fucking TV. He was so pissed.
I know. I thought the neighbors were gonna come after.
Gil was so angry.
But
Gil was so you can hear him. You can hear him screaming "What?" down the street. What?
I think we were all screaming.
What the fuck was that? This time we're gonna be live streaming the NHL draft.
That'll be fun.
So
Hopefully the weather will be nice and we can have it out on the deck again.
if not, we will have the TV in here, and we'll probably have the live stream. We'll probably have to move the table.
We're gonna have to start cleaning the house now.
Yeah, so we'll hopefully.
I'm a little behind, folks. It's
Yeah.
not my fault. It really isn't my fault. We're behind. A little
So,
behind.
but stay tuned to me and Gil. We're gonna be doing our next mock draft 5. Is it 5.0? We're gonna be doing that.
Yeah, I think it'd be
Yeah, I think you're at
fifth,
5.
the fifth one we've done.
It'll be that one. Will be in a couple of weeks. We got what 2 more after that? I think we got the May and the June, and then the actual NHL draft.
It's in June.
End of June. Then we won't do another one until the next season. It'll be interesting. But let's get into it. The next 3 games. We already did the Florida game, so we got the final West Coast trip: Minnesota, Winnipeg. This is where I think Winnipeg pulls away from us, and wins the President's Trophy. I think Winnipeg beats us. Then we fall to Minnesota, because I think at this time Kaprizov will be back. I think he'll be back. I don't know. That's another thing. If Kaprizov comes back, I think Vegas is in trouble, because that's the thing that's keeping. Because another team that's really hurt and banged up is Minnesota. Like half their team's banged up. So, yes.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we lost
Did we
Gil.
lose Gil? I think it's trying to reconnect.
There he is.
There he is.
So they could potentially get him back potentially next week. No, he's expected to start skating and preparing for his return to the ice next week. Yeah. So he could be back next week, which could be a big factor. I think we're going to lose to Minnesota next week. I do think we're going to lose to Winnipeg. I think ultimately Winnipeg will pull away with that. But if we win the President's Trophy, Spencer Carberry is winning that fucking Jack Adams Award. Chris Patrick is winning the GM Award. Gil, are you looking forward to the rest of the season?
Yes and no. You're going to see a lot of throwaway games now that they've clinched.
They are actually, I think, 4 or 5 wins away from clinching the division.
So
I think it's 4.
And they play
I don't know, I'd have to
They
do
play
the math. I'm not very
they
good at
play
math.
Carolina twice. So those 2 games are going to be big factors. So I think those 2 games they're going to play. We only have one more back-to-back, and that is Boston and Carolina. The beginning of the month on April Fool's Day. No, we have 2 back-to-backs. So we have Boston, Carolina, and then we have a home and a home with Columbus.
Yeah.
Which is why I ultimately do think, like I said, when Leonard signs, that's when they're gonna bench a couple players, probably send Alexiev down, and they'll put him in the lineup because he'll probably be waiting in DC for that Sunday, and he'll be entered in the lineup. And they'll do the little thing where they let the rookies go out and skate by themselves, do a lap by themselves. I would love to be there when he does that, but these fucking ticket prices are fucking expensive.
They've gone
Uh,
crazy now. Well, the closer he gets to breaking the record,
but if he breaks it already, it's still going to be expensive.
Well, yeah, because they've already been set.
So
Oh
tickets
shoot,
right
my friend's
now,
trying to call.
tickets are $600 right now.
Yeah, that's
$5,000 behind the
crazy.
bench. Oh my God, $5,000 plus $8,000 for 2 tickets. Oh my God, it's ridiculous. But we're gonna try. We're definitely gonna try to make it to the first practice that he attends. Cheryl wants to have all of her signatures signed by the players.
That's my goal. I'm going to get to a practice and have everybody
Uh,
sign my.
I'm gonna make a joke right now. Gil, I gotta ask, would it be a douche move to have him sign my Denver Pioneers national title hat?
Yeah, kind of.
I'm like, I know they beat
Kind
you.
of.
I know they beat you a couple like last year, but will you sign it? uh,
Kind of.
I'm being polite.
so
Sebastian, what are you doing?
I know for a fact we're probably gonna see a lot of Boston fans when he makes his debut. I do think we're gonna see a lot of Boston. He's gonna have like a lot of family members at that game. Uh,
I'll be right back. Keep talking.
which that's
I'm just.
they're probably gonna have a whole suite full of them. It's gonna be crazy. Like him and with him potentially making his debut, Ovi potentially breaking the record. These tickets are gonna be fucking expensive.
Yep.
And this is the last home game too. And that's the game you're predicting the Caps Ovi to break it, right?
Me, yeah.
So yeah, that lines up. Leonard makes his debut. Ovi breaks the record. Uh, crowd goes nuts. This is the game. This game is definitely one we should definitely have a watch along at the Irish Channel. This
The
game,
CBJ.
yes, this game. This in the Pittsburgh game. This in the Pittsburgh game. I don't give a fuck about the Islanders game. Uh, even though that's going to be televised. So we're more likely not going to be live streaming the last game of the season because we're probably going to be doing a watch along. So I'm fine with that. Hey, Sebastian. Gil, what are you mostly looking forward to for these last few games before we sign off?
No injuries. Figure out a long-term strategy for um, how to play in both ends for the playoffs.
Here's another thought.
Keeping everybody fresh.
Let's practice line changes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Learn to count.
Uh,
Or just
But
fucking pay attention.
yeah, that's true.
so let's
Yeah.
actually look at the Sabres
Brain
tickets.
farts are a little. You guys are way younger than
Don't
some
just
of us.
jump over
So,
the goddamn boards. Fucking pay attention to who's on the ice.
yeah, you guys are way younger than us. You should be able to do that.
These aren't that bad.
But
These tickets aren't that bad. They're only $200.
let's see. So we got.
I gotta jump here in a minute.
Yeah, me too. I gotta make a phone. I gotta call some. I
Yeah,
gotta make
let's
a
wrap
phone
this
call.
up. So Gil, your most anticipated this next month's going to be very, very hot for the Capitals. You got Ovechkin, uh, Ovi breaking the record, Ryan Leonard making his debut. Capitals going to the playoffs, potentially going far in the playoffs too. What is your excitement level going to be for potentially that Columbus game with a potential Ryan Leonard debut and Ovi breaking the record.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even. I'm not even. I'm not even counting on Leonard dressing for that game.
Really?
I'm not even thinking about that. That's not even on my radar.
I could see that. They
I
could
just
they
I
might
just
wait.
want I just want the I want the team to be healthy. I want something. Well, they're probably not going to know who the hell they're playing the first round until the last day of the season.
More likely.
But I want them to work on just you know basic stuff to the point where it's automatic because the quicker they get through the first round, the better chance they have of getting through the whole thing and winning it all.
Yeah.
Exactly. I am totally with Gil on that. Now's the time to really get those kinks worked out.
Yeah.
But they've been working them out throughout the season, but they're still, like you said, got to learn to pay attention on the, who's on the ice and and then the phantom penalties. They've so far managed to not let that get to them too much. So, but continue working on that, or what I call the phantom penalties.
I'm looking forward to better starts. They need to play
But
better.
yeah,
Like going in the playoffs, that's the thing that most scares me the most. Is
and not sitting back when they have the lead,
this team
because these teams in the playoffs are not going to go away.
Right.
Yeah, but the difference between that is that there is a difference between sitting back and there's a difference in shutting it down. The Capitals do sit back, but there's times where we completely shut down the ice, so we can sit back. Uh, Teams can get away with that if they play the lockdown or the trap game where like the center ice is hard to get through. That's the
Yeah,
biggest problem. They got to worry about
it's
that. But
they got
I'm
to
the better
not do what they did last night.
the better starts. Well, that's because that's Philadelphia, and they knew like, Philadelphia's trash. Uh, that's how the Capitals are. They play a really bad team like Philadelphia, and they play down to their competition. The better
Yeah,
starts for
well,
the
they're not going to.
Capitals. Uh, the bright future for next year with guys like Crystal Leonard and Chesley making their debuts for the organization. Not with just the Capitals, but with the Hershey, the Bears as well. Uh,
Hmm.
like me and Gil talked about it last time. Leonard, they're probably what Spencer's gonna do is play him a couple games and then have him sit throughout the playoffs and watch and learn, and then next year throw him in the lineup, and have him play third line minutes and work from there. That is my ultimate. That's what I ultimately want to see. Is I want to see improvement from everyone, including Leonard, when he comes over. I want to see him take the next step. I want him to see. I want to see what he is all about. We are very excited about him. He has a lot of potential abilities to be the franchise player post Ovi. They need to build around him. That is 100% what needs to be the factor going forward after Ovi retires. Is build around Leonard and all the young guys. And this is probably the fastest rebuild slash retool. Not even me and Gil thought this. We thought there was going to be a 10 part plan. That 10-part plan became a 3-part plan, and that 3-part plan is automatically in effect. So, anyways, thank you guys for joining us for episode 20. We will be back for episode 21. Episode 21 next week. We will review the Winnipeg game. Potentially, I think the next game that's live streaming, that is, I think is the Carolina game.
I
Let
think
me
so.
let me double check that. Gil, what do you think? Is it the Carolina game?
Chicago, I'm pretty sure the Chicago games is a national game.
No, none of them are
No.
national games until the Columbus game. So the 12:30 game is ABC and ESPN Plus. So that's the game they think that he's gonna get close to. Oh no,
Okay.
the New York Islanders game, TNT, Sundays at 12:30 p.m. That'll be our next potential live stream. Actually,
Next Sunday.
no. Minnesota will be our next live stream because Minnesota will be ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus. We will see you guys for the Minnesota game on Thursday, 7:30. This coming Thursday. Uh, Go Caps on 3. 1, 2, 3. Go Caps!
No Caps.
close till I get up. Time is barely